Welcome to Deep Thought. Question with a purpose. I'm going to tell you what. It used to be cliche, might still be cliche to say there are no dumb questions. I've said that to people. But then I'm going to tell you what. In recent years, I've kind of changed that. I kind of went away from that because I've seen a lot of comments, and not just on my videos, other videos, and really listening to people. Some people just question just the question, like trolls. Trolls say a lot of stuff and throw a lot of stuff without any real purpose, just to be annoying and everything. To me, that's a waste. That's a waste. Like, it's nothing wrong with questioning. We should all question. Even with the stuff, what if I say it consistently with the information I share? I say, go check it out. Go check it out. Don't just take it and say, oh, Rom said that. Okay, I'm going to go with it. Go test it out for yourself. That's questioning with a purpose. That's very important. That's very important to understand. You always want to ask the question, but have a reason. Just don't throw it out there. Like, really think about it. Really formulate your question. Like, some people just ask, and people say, well, why'd you do that? Like, somebody was asking, it was a video. It was one of my old videos, and I had a different video, something different in the background, and somebody questioned, well, why you got a shirt on like that? It's like, why would you ask? Everything you could ask, everything I was talking about, nothing to do with the picture. You asking about something in my background, I'm like, that's how the person drew it. But, I know sometimes when people ask questions like that, they trying to find a reason to come up with something stupid or try to attack. You know what? Let me give an example of that. I said I wasn't going to ask about that, but, I've been transparent, said I had a stroke, and I'm still getting over it. And I'm making progress every day. But I've had, like, several people say, well, did you get the poke? I ain't no point say anything about, well, two things. One, I ain't never say anything about no damn poke or sticking it. And plus, like, because, there's a conspiracy out there, you get sick from getting, like, the COVID shot, right? And, you got back and forth over that. But here's the issue with that. One, strokes been happening. I had a stroke, and I even said it was in my family. When my older family, grandmother, sister, my mother probably would have had a stroke, but she had like 8 medicines in her. Step-grandfather. And shoot, people since time immemorial were getting strokes before they had some COVID shot. And they were getting sick way before COVID existed, before it was maybe created wherever it was created. Why would you ask that? Seriously. And especially, I ain't give any indication. I ain't say anything, oh, I got a stroke. It was just a dumbass question. It was a dumbass question. It might have had, you could argue, it might have had a purpose. Somebody trying to go in on me, or they trying to back up a conspiracy theory they have. No, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. I just had a stroke. It ain't, I'm real funny with needles. Trust me. I'm real funny with needles. I'll leave it at that. But you still have people, they'll ask questions like that. And it's like, what purpose? Are you getting something good out of it? Like, to me, it's not a question with a purpose if you're looking to try to break somebody down. Like, I use a stroke example again. Somebody's like, well, were you smoking or drinking? And it's like, I don't smoke or drink. Even on my video, the one I'm walking up and pick up the little glass, that's cranberry juice, okay? That's more for visual effect. But you get a lot of people, they really get into asking that. And see, I'm going to tell you what, it's a waste. What are you really getting out of it? See, I'm going to tell you what, when you question, I'm going to be real, you question, it should lead to something else when you ask the question. Now, yeah, there's some basic stuff like, are you in this spot right here? You going to eat that? Okay. But when you want to get into some deeper stuff, when you're doing some research, it's very important the question that you ask. Like if you try to find out information. And understand, I used to work as an investigator, both criminal investigator on both sides of the aisle, actually. And the thing is, when you are asking a defendant or somebody a question, or you trying to find out stuff, it's very important what you ask. First of all, is it related to what you're looking for? Not a dumb question, not a random question, but is it related to what you're looking for? Or would it open them up to get the information you're looking for? I want y'all to think about that. But it has a purpose, In fact, somebody picked that up about me. They were like, you don't say or do anything or ask anything without it leading something else. It's never random with you. Never random. And it can't be, because I'm going to tell you what. And this is especially for anybody who wants to do serious research. You can't be all over the place. You got to get right to the point, because sometimes it can be tough to get to that point. Sometimes it can be tough to get what you're trying to get. It's very important that you stay focused. Like, try not to ask what is a dumb question. Or even if it seems obvious, maybe you're asking a question to see where the other person stands. Okay, that's a question with a purpose. But then if you're just saying something just out of the blue, it's like, well, what good is that? What good is that? And what do you need to know it for? Also, it should be for a positive thing. A positive thing. Like, okay, some people saying, well, was it the poke with regard to my stroke? What good would that do? Because first of all, if you really look at it, let me talk about that for a second. If you really look at it, there's plenty of people, I know people who've gotten the poke and nothing's happened to them. Not a single thing. They're very healthy. And then, because really, even with that, if they get something, they probably had a pre-existing condition. But see, sometimes people want to get into the conspiracy. But see, that's where you get in trouble, because you start asking questions that don't have nothing to do with nothing. But then you start getting away from reality. So that's very important to understand. That's very important to understand. And then, when you question, when you look at stuff, it's very important. It's like, okay, what's the purpose? What's the meaning? What do you need? How is it helping you? And it could be on myriad levels. It could be on myriad levels. It's like, okay, how's this going to help me out to know this information? And that's how I look at it. Some people might just be nosy, but you got to watch that too. Is that a real purpose? Is that a real purpose to know this particular thing? Or, and definitely people know, they'll ask like some questions. They trying to, they might, like, somebody could argue, yeah, they trying to find out some information about this person to possibly use against them. That's a dark purpose. I can understand that. But even then, it's like, what's the point of that? Because then the thing is, why are you worried about this particular person? Especially when it's a total stranger. What purpose is asking a total stranger why they doing this? For what? Or why they wearing something? Like, when I ask questions, like, even when I ask questions, like, I say for relationships, I ask women a lot of questions when I'm out and about. And if they ask why, I just say, this is what I do for a living. One of the main things I do, I talk about relationships. So I want to know what women are thinking. So this is very important. It's very important. You got to look at a lot of things. But just in general, when you question with a purpose. Have a reason you're doing it. Don't just be doing it just to do it, all right? So, anyway, I want y'all to really think about that. And if y'all have any questions, it need to be with a purpose, all right? So, anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.